Hey, thanks for calling in.
You're welcome. I'm glad to be here.
You are wonderful. What did you want to look at? Or
No. I just want to give you a big slobbery virtual kiss.
Oh.
I can't tell you how excited I am about your system. I can't tell you how much it's meant for me. I made $23,000 in about a month's time with your system. I do not have one single position that I've lost money on.
Oh, you're too
I am
nice.
just stunned. I am a moon lover.
It is now time for The Trader's Edge with your host, Steve Rhodes.
11 seconds. You've got 10 seconds. The countdown going on right now. Morrow up to Schultz. 5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, traders. Hi, folks. Thanks for joining me. This is Steve Rhodes, host of The Trader's Edge, and thanks so much for joining us this morning. You can follow us live at, just go to the website at tfnn.com, and on the third button over on the top, you'll see TigerTV. And what you want to do is you want to go ahead and you want to follow this live, folks, because you'll be able to take a look at the screen, whatever it is that I might throw up on there. It might be something that you're already invested in. Maybe it's just simply understanding which way the markets are going and the patterns that we're taking a look at. And the best way to learn, because what we're really all about here, what we really try to do is we really want to be able to help and teach you something. So go if you're watching the archive show. I think this is also archived as well. I know that my third hour is on channel 14, but go to Tiger TV. You can watch this show live. Now, folks, absolutely, you know, this is for me, this is the best time of my day when I get the opportunity to help you grow, to help teach you something, to be able to hopefully contribute to you in some way. And I know that each of you also contribute to me. You know, last night was really a cool night for me. As you know, one of the things that I've really popularized here at TFNN is the lunar trading strategy and understanding the full moon cycle, the new moon cycle, and really when you take a look at, you know, I have a newsletter, it's called Mastering Probability. Now my background is really math oriented, and so it would only make sense that the way that I analyze things, if you will, are really probability based. And what's really cool about some of these astro events or lunar events is that with technology today, I'm able to go ahead and I'm able to plot things on my charts in an instant, if you will, and go see if they've had an impact on, for whatever reason, the energy that's out there and actually changing the market. Now, what was cool about yesterday is when I finally left the office, I had enough time to, the skies here in Clearwater were just gorgeous. I mean, crystal blue, no clouds anywhere. Oftentimes when the sun is going down over the Gulf, there's always like a band of clouds, you know, and there's nothing like watching the sun melt into the water. I don't know why that is. You know, I know I'm not the only person that's attracted to that because there were plenty of people. So yesterday I grabbed a couple of beers, went out to the beach, you know, and watched the sun melt into the water. Now, what was actually really cool about that, and with the full moon coming in or early yesterday morning, was, if you can imagine this, on the West Coast I had this big ball of energy. You know, nothing like the sun to just kind of wake you up. It's one of the reasons that I moved to Florida. You know, I moved to Florida back in 1983, and it was because of the blue skies. I love blue skies. Fairly positive person. You probably would agree with that. And so, you know, so here I'm watching this gorgeous energy of sun go ahead and fade off into the water, if you will. That's going on the west side, right? And all of a sudden I look back over as the sun goes down, look over to the east, and here comes that big full moon up on the East Coast. So I got the sun going down, the moon going up, and it's because I'm a moon lover, folks. And, you know, I don't know why it works this way, and especially the full moons, but they certainly seem to have some type of impact. You know, it's an impact on emotion. When we take a look at the markets that we trade, the markets are nothing but emotion. And what we try to do here is we try to look for the non-random patterns that are out there because they exist. Sometimes you hear us refer to those as A to B equals C to D. Sometimes we take a look at Gartley's or butterflies or three-drive patterns. They're nothing more than what we'll call non-random patterns. And we know when these non-random patterns show up, we know how it is that they're supposed to behave. And when they fail, we also know what that means. And so it's very helpful for from the standpoint of being able to manage your money. Now, the other cool thing was that, after watching the sun go down, the moon come up, if you will, I needed some groceries, so I stopped over at the grocery store and ran into one of our subscribers to a number of services around here. Great guy, and so it was nice to run into, if you will, a fellow tiger, if you will, just out. Hopping around and tooling around and at the grocery store. So it was really a great evening. Hopefully you saw the sunset as well, or at least that nice full moon. It was nice and bright here. And folks, so again, thanks for joining me. And yesterday or all last week, what we were talking about was talking about how when you wake up in the morning, how you really want to visualize what it is that you want to accomplish today. I try to help you to be able to visualize really what is it that you want more than just today, but just using the step of just visualizing what it is that you want today is important. Yesterday we talked about character, and because I believe that September 12th, 2001 was just as an important day as September 11th that we recognize. Now, the September 12th, because it's how you pull your bootstraps out, and it's really what created character. And there was, as difficult as that time period was, and absolutely difficult, had, as I say, a huge impact on probably on each of us, some type of emotion. Some of us, it impacted us financially, some business-wise, some personal-wise because of folks that we lost. Maybe a sense of fear that was created. And so, fear is actually one of the things that I wanted to just chat about a little bit this morning, because what I realized is that, I'm doing this show, Tom, Basil, Larry, what have you, and we're doing this show, and what I do know about folks out there is, even if you're not an active trader, 70% of the folks out here that are listening right now are invested in the markets through some type of retirement plan, 401k, IRA. Hopefully, many of you have self-directed plans where you can actually direct your funds. You can decide what it is that you want to invest it, whether it's indexes, whether it's gold, silver, whatever it might be, a stock, Apple, whatever that might be. Some of you don't have control of that. But many times when we take a look at the money game, what's just like what happened on September 11th, there was some fear, even on September 12th. And fear is one of those things that can really, it can inspire you, because you can run away from it, if you will. But fear, which, stands for false evidence appearing real. And if you really think back at the times in your life when you've been associated with fear, hasn't most of those times not been as bad as you actually made it? I mean, that's really part of the visualization process. When you take a look at fear, okay, fear many times is a big, bright concern that's really right at the front of your head, if you will. And when you have those fears, one of the things that I try to teach you from a visualization standpoint is take that fear, and what you want to do is you want to make that fear smaller and smaller and smaller, and help to move that back further inside to your mind, and you want to make it dimmer and dimmer and dimmer. You want to turn that fear off. And you can practice doing that, because you can get really, really good at it. Because fear, if you consider that the majority of the time, if not all of the time, the fears that you've had, the thing that you were most afraid about, never really came true, never totally really came true, then why would you let fear go ahead and impact yourself? Now, one of the fears that's really out there is, and something that affects every family. I mean, if you understood that there's fears right now that likely you're dealing with that are having a substantial impact on your family, one of those fears is dealing with money. It's dealing with how in the heck to manage money. And when you take a look at the stock market, it's who do you trust? Do you trust the guy that's talking to you on the radio right now, if you're listening to us live in Spokane, or you're catching us in New Hampshire on the delayed show, or you're just listening on TigerTV, whatever it is, you've got, how do you decide who it is that you want to listen to? Because you can get bombarded. If you turn on CNBC, you're bombarded by all types of information. And the question becomes, how is it that what are your fears? Your fear typically is a fear of loss, right? That's a real big one, especially when you take a look at the money game. It's the fear of loss. And the question becomes, how is it that you define loss? Do you define loss as you took some risk, and the risk didn't pay off, and therefore, you're not going to invest? Or do you consider loss that, today if you were to keep your money in a savings account, how much interest would you actually get? I mean, if you went out and you got a 10-year Treasury note, you'd get like 2% interest. What is I don't even know what the current rate is on a savings account. It's 1%, less than 1%, something like that. Are you associate fear with the loss because of the potential that you could have made? Would you like to learn how to play the money game? Well, really that's what we're here to teach you. From a math standpoint, from a probability standpoint, what I want to be able to do is I want to be able to teach you the money game. So one of the first steps, and then, and after this first segment, we'll go take a look at the markets or what have you. But I'm on the air for 3 hours today, so if you're just listening in here or you want to catch the archive shows, I want you to tune into the other Trader's Edge show that we do from 10 to 11 or 11 to 12. And because I want to really help you to understand the money game. And I will continue to do that as long as I have this relationship with you, because I want to, because this really impacts your family. When you take a look at what's going on around the world, and when you take a look at technology, thank goodness for technology. Technology is what's allowing me to be here with you right at this moment. And technology, when you take a look at what it is that you can actually do to help to manage your money, what I want to be able to do is I really want to help you to be able to overcome fear. Well, overcoming fear is first starting to understand the money game. And so what I've got up on my screen here right now is I've got what I call an expectancy table. A big high pollutant name. What it really is it's nothing more than a distribution of wins and losses. Now, what I know, and there's some other spreadsheets, and I'll share those with you. What I know is that if you learn how to play the money game, and learning how to play the money game has certain rules. The first rule is never risk more than 1% of your trading capital on any trade. But what risk means, folks, risk means taking your trading capital, multiplying that times 1%. So in this example here, if you had $50,000, I wouldn't want you to risk more than $500 on any trade. Now, that doesn't mean that if your stock is selling for $50 that you only have 10 shares. Risk is really defined by if you bought a stock for $30 and you decided that if the stock for whatever reason fell to $28 or less, that would be a $2 risk. You would sell your stock. That $2 is really your risk. So if you were going to risk $500 in total on your trading capital and your risk per share was $2, all you would have to do to figure out how many shares of that stock to buy is one of the first elements would be take $500, divide it by 2. That would tell you 250 shares. Now, oftentimes you've heard you've heard Bud talk about, a 3-to-1 reward to risk ratio. Well, when you take a look at the factor that I have up here, that factor of 3 represents if you risked $500 and you had a winning trade, you would make $1,500. Now, if you had only 33, only one-third of the time, only one-third of the time you had winning trades, the other two-thirds of the time you had losing trades, that would give you a positive expectancy. Folks, what that means is that if you found one trade per week, you took 2 weeks off for vacation, and you had $50,000 that were working. I'm going to go through these numbers in more detail, later. What you would generate is a $8,000 profit. That's by having one winning trade out of 3 each time, folks, and that's over a series of 50 trades per year. That's a 16% return. We can teach you how to play the money game. I want to be able to do that. 877-927-6648. Give me a call, folks.
X-Story Gold Mines, an NYSE Amex-listed company trading under the symbol XG, is slated to be the newest gold-silver producer in Argentina. X-Story is forecast to produce more than $250 million in bullion annually, beginning in 2013, at a cash cost of less than $200 for each ounce of gold produced. That forecast will make X-Story one of the highest margin operators in South America and a sector leader in the mining industry. X-Story has $50 million in its treasury, having spent over $60 million to date on drilling and engineering. The ultimate size of its Argentina discovery could be determined by year-end, as results from the 6 drills operating at the site are fully assessed. To find out more about X-Story Gold Mines and their exciting growth potential, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE Amex under the symbol XG.
TFNN is proud to bring you the cutting edge of newsletters. Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Ken is a top-down investor who lets price and volume in the major stock indices tell him when to be in the market and when to be out. By using his unique blend of fundamental and technical analysis, Ken will protect your hard-earned capital while realizing breakout gains. Go to TFNN.com today. Click Investments Newsletters and get Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks free for 2 weeks.
Are you looking for some extra cash to help pay off some of your bills? Let Tiger Metal Exchange convert your unwanted jewelry to cash. We pay out 80% of the market price for gold. Our payouts are the highest in the industry, more than double our largest competitors. And we've created the safest, easiest, and most straightforward process for converting your jewelry to cash. Log on to TigerMetalExchange.com and get your free scale, your free eye loop, and get the cash you deserve now. We provide a free online calculator that converts your jewelry to cash at up-to-the-minute spot prices. We insure your items for up to $75,000 per shipment free of charge. We videotape the entire valuation process so that you can view it online. You can call us toll-free at 866-618-8888 or log on to TigerMetalExchange.com. Let Tiger Metal Exchange put more cash in your pocket without ever leaving the comfort of your home. Join the list of thousands of satisfied customers and go to TigerMetalExchange.com. It's the only click you need to make.
Would you like to discover the next great tech stock? David White, TFNN's technology guru, has just launched his new newsletter, The Technology Insider. In his newsletter, David will be looking for those shining stars that may turn into the next Apple, Microsoft, or Cisco. David combines his technology background as a software programmer with his market skills as a successful professional trader to give you this unique newsletter. We're on the verge of the next great tech run. With the Technology Insider, you'll be in front of the run-up and not lagging behind. David is developing a long-term investment portfolio, therefore we're only offering the Technology Insider as an annual subscription with a remarkable price of only $395. That's right, for a little over $1 a day, you'll receive the fundamental technology wisdom and technical trading skills of the Technology Insider David White. What are you waiting for? Go to the front of TFNN.com, click on the link on the front page, sign up for your 2-week free trial, and become a Technology Insider today.
TFNN introduces Tiger TV. Tiger TV brings you video content to help you succeed in the financial markets and beyond. Investors and traders can get in-depth information, news, commentary, and education for investing and trading equities, options, commodities, forex, futures, and more. Just go to TFNN.com and click Tiger TV and select your favorite channel from the carousel on the left. Grab a popcorn and get ready for Tiger TV, a great new service from TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Don't forget, you can test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
It absolutely is, folks. Welcome back, 877-927-6648, and thanks so much for joining me. And what I've got up on the screen right now is a copy of the chart of the DAX. Now, if you've been listening on the show, you know that we've really been following the DAX here because the DAX over in Europe, the German market, has helped to really lead the markets down, if you will. You know, there's definite problems over there. Now, right now, you know, we've got that full moon impact that is giving us a bounce, and that's really all that I think that we're getting out of here is a bounce. The question is, you know, how long is this bounce going to last? We'll only be able to really measure that by the volume. We've got lots of volatility. You know, when you consider, I don't know exactly what the futures were down at the worst case last night on the Dow, but probably down, you know, 150 or so. Or this morning, somewhere in that 100 range. I know they were up 50 or 60 last night. You know, so we've got this huge volatility. But volatility is not something that you should be afraid of, because from a trader's standpoint, volatility, if you start to understand the different patterns that we look at, the different, whether it's Fibonacci, and these are things that we can teach you, whether it's ABC patterns, but most importantly, the real pattern that we want to teach you is that money management pattern. Because what you can do is you can put on a trade, you can have the confidence with your system to know that your money's working for you. Because, you know, the fear, folks, is that if you don't have financial independence, then maybe, you are tied, whether it's to your employer, whether it's to your government with some program. And so people don't necessarily want you to have financial independence. We around here at TFNN, that's all that we want. We are all about being independent. And we want to be able to bring that to you. We want to be able to teach that to you. Because financial independence, means a lot of things to a lot of different people. To me, all that it means is taking the money that you've got that's sitting off to the side, your investment capital, and having that work hard for you, those little workers that are able to produce enough income to pay your monthly expenses. Because once you have that, folks, once you have that, you really have financial freedom. Then that can really unleash the amazing power that's within inside yourself. Now, we're looking at the DAX here. The DAX is up. DAX is up by 94 points. It's going to be difficult. Today will be a telling day. I expect that the U.S. market, that this full moon cycle that we're in, that we'll see the U.S. market continue to rise. Now, we've got the DAX. The DAX, like I say, it's up like 96 or what have you. So if that happens to be right now a lead dog, because it's been a lead dog on the way down, then what we should see is we should see some positive impact in the U.S. market. Now, today we'll determine whether it's really a follow-through day. Do we have more volume than we did yesterday? And we'll wait to see. Tuesday, you got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Everybody's really back to work, if you will. So we've got an opportunity for that to take place. It was a heck of a turn yesterday. And we take a look at the DAX. And when you take a look on the screen right here, folks, what you're seeing is this three drive to a bottom pattern. Now, this three drive pattern failed. Even though we come back up inside this range, it failed. So all that we really have here is a bounce. Now, when I say the range, it's getting back into the 5150. You can see we're trading at 5165 right now. So we're back inside that range. It's a sign of things to come, ominous things to come, in my opinion, at least from a chart reading standpoint, which is why we really want you to be protected. I don't want to scare you. What I want you to do is I want you to take some action. I want you, for all of you that have got investments in 401ks that you can't manage, in essence, you don't really direct in an instant, whether you go to cash or whether you change funds, whatever it is that you might do, I want you to please put in a call to whoever is managing those funds for you and find out what that process is, because we want to be able to protect you. We don't want you to ride that elevator, that roller coaster down like you probably did from 2007, from October, November 2007, all the way down to the March lows of 2009. Because when we take a look at what's going on around the world here, that what's happening here is we're going to be revisiting those areas as well. And it'll be real key as to whether or not we're even able to hold those areas. So, this is not what I want to have happen, and I'm happy to change my mind on the turn of a dime just simply by looking at the charts, not by listening to what is being fed to us on the airwaves, because this is reality TV right here. So we want to teach you reality TV. And that's on the DAX. If we go take a look at, I just happened to pull up the Nikkei, folks, which is Japan. And, one of these countries also that I love. And when I was pulling up the Nikkei on a daily chart, what I was seeing is it looks like we also have a three-drive pattern that's setting up here. I'm going to need to do a little bit more work on this, but it looks like a three-drive pattern as well. So now we've got, let's say, two markets around the world that are showing this three-drive pattern. This one really goes back, from the Nikkei, goes back into the August 2010 timeframe. That's when we had QE2. That's when our markets really took off. But you can see that it impacted our markets, didn't necessarily impact the other markets around the world here. And the Nikkei traded all the way down. Right now, it finished the session today at 86.16. And the three drive to the pattern looks like that was created yesterday, 9/12. So, we need the Nikkei to hold here as well. Now, these three drive to a patterns, folks, they usually mark some type of turn as well. So anyways, 877-927-6648. When we get back, the markets will be open. We'll go take a look at our indexes, our ETFs, or anything else you'd like us to take a look at. We'll be right back, folks.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. If you want to get great trade setups in equity as well as the option market, come over to TFNN.com and test drive my daily newsletter, Market Insights, for 2 weeks absolutely free. Each trade setup comes with a profit projection as well as stop placement. Included in Market Insights is a Twitter alert service. This allows you to take advantage of intraday setups. Volatility is back in the markets. What does that mean to you? To me, it spells short-term opportunity each and every day. The days of trending up on lighter volume are gone. We have come off the highs with volume across the globe. Don't get caught in a complacency trap. Many of the indices have given back 2 months of trading in 1 week. We have a trader's market. You can take advantage of this traders market by test driving my daily newsletter, Market Insights, free for 2 weeks. Market Insights will give you the edge you're looking for in the markets. Go to TFNN.com under newsletter. Hit the Market Insight tab for your 2-week free test drive right here, right now.
Tom O'Brien's weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, gives traders, investors, and money managers a thorough strategy for trading the gold market. If you're an investor in gold or any of the gold mining equities, this newsletter is an essential tool that can help you become a better trader in the gold market. The Gold Report comes out every Monday with complete coverage of the entire gold market, including the XAU, HUI, the dollar, the bond, the rand, more than 40 different mining equities, as well as some of the most popular precious metal ETFs, including the GDX and the SLV. For as low as $75 per month, you can gain access to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report that will help you take advantage of investment opportunities at the current historic gold price levels. To order your Gold Report today with a free 30-day trial subscription, log on to TFNN.com or call our office directly at 877-518-9190. Would you like to discover the next great tech stock? David White, TFNN's technology guru, has just launched his new newsletter, The Technology Insider. In his newsletter, David will be looking for those shining stars that may turn into the next Apple, Microsoft, or Cisco. David combines his technology background as a software programmer with his market skills as a successful professional trader to give you this unique newsletter. We're on the verge of the next great tech run. With the Technology Insider, you'll be in front of the run-up and not lagging behind. David is developing a long-term investment portfolio, therefore we're only offering the Technology Insider as an annual subscription with a remarkable price of only $395. That's right, for a little over $1 a day, you'll receive the fundamental technology wisdom and technical trading skills of the Technology Insider David White. What are you waiting for? Go to the front of TFNN.com, click on the link on the front page, sign up for your 2-week free trial, and become a Technology Insider today.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Smith Barney. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportion of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney believes a carefully selected portfolio can lower your volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what asset allocation and a Morgan Stanley Smith Barney financial advisor can do for you. Call Angelo O'Brien, financial advisor and certified financial planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC. Member SIPC.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
It absolutely is, folks. Boy, last night was beautiful, and looking at the stars, if you will, but looking at the sun setting in the west and watching that moon rise on the east. Don't know if it's going to be the same tonight, but check it out if you do. Now, let's go take a look at our markets. We've got the markets are open. Nothing really major happening here, which is kind of interesting. We haven't really had a day where we haven't been a huge gap up or a huge gap down, if you will. But the day is early. Right now, you've got the Dow down 27, the S&P's up a point. The composite up 10, and the small caps up 4. My guess is the small caps here are leading the charge right now. Now, when we take a look, what I've got up on my screen here, folks, is the NDX 100. And when we talk about patterns, non-random patterns, when we take a look at this here chart, you know, strong chart, which really is the Qs. We can take a look at the ETF, the Qs. We can come back and take a look at that. Right now, the pattern that's in effect right here is an ABC pattern. If this pattern completes, right now we're trading at 21.96. If this pattern completes, this will take us up to the 23.45 level. Now, these are airplanes, if you will, that have turbulence. Just like if you're flying from around the world, East Coast, West Coast, and sometimes you don't see the turbulence. What's really cool about charts here is when you're going to run into turbulence. And turbulence, when we talk about turbulence, is really swing points. Because swing points, which are highs or lows, they're days of highs or lows. They mark where their market has actually made a turn, if you will. The reason that it's turbulence is because that's the last time where there was this whole series of emotion where people changed position, where people either went long, they were very bullish, or people started selling, because they were very short, because they just simply decided to short the market. Whether it could have been fear, and we started off the show talking about fear, and when I go back and take a look at some of the worst decisions that I ever made, those worst decisions, folks, they were really out of fear. Many times, I don't know about yourself, but whenever I've made a bad decision, and sometimes you think about it, maybe it's the next day, maybe it's a week, maybe it's a month, maybe it's 6 months from now, but whenever you're able to clear your head and you're able to go back and take a look at that decision, don't you dream about, don't you visualize being stronger and wish that you would have just taken on that fear right then and there? And if you know that, why wouldn't you do the same thing each and every day? Why wouldn't you do that when it comes to your money? You really want to be able to do that. We can help you to teach you to do that. In this case here, what we want to do is we want to be able to teach you ABC patterns, just like going back to grade school, if you will. And really, when you think about managing your money, that's really what it's all about. But what we're able to do is we're able to, in Bugatti sense, go from 0 to 60, just like that in a heartbeat. And we're able to help to teach you. We're able to hold your hands. We provide newsletter services, all with some form of free trial. Mine has a 30-day money-back guarantee. All you're really doing is putting down a credit card for the opportunity for 30 days to follow along with me, even if you don't do anything from a trading standpoint other than maybe a paper account in trade, and see how it would have helped you. I will teach you the money game. I'll teach you how to manage your money. I will teach you, yesterday was a day where you wouldn't find too many people going long the marketplace. But because of the probability work that I did on the full moon cycle, as we were coming into it, as the market was moving down, I remembered back that the worst decisions that I made was not being strong when I was dealing with fear. And yesterday was really all about strength, was really all about pulling the trigger based on all the work that I had done before. If you want to read a great book on because trading, folks, is really about psychology. So you've got Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. You've got Larry Pesavento has got a book out there called Trade What You See. Not the Trade What You See book. It's not what you think, it's how you. I'll have to go back and remember the name. But there's some really great books, or just simply the show, just listening to my archive shows. I'll help you there. So in this case here, we're looking at the NDX 100. We're looking at this to finish at 23.45. Now, the interesting thing about that 23.45 is we use ABCs, and what we also do is we use Fibonacci retracements. If you go back to the high here that we had on July 26, all the way down to the low, folks, what you would see is you will see that the .786 retracement finishes at the 23.52. That, folks, is a Gartley sell pattern. That's what you want to be looking at as your next possible place to sell. It'd be a great area if we can buoy the market, move it up there. We'll see what happens, folks. Down 47 in the NASDAQ, or in the Dow, and down 2 in the S&Ps. We'll be right back.
TFNN is proud to bring you the cutting edge of newsletters. Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Ken is a top-down investor who lets price and volume in the major stock indices tell him when to be in the market and when to be out. By using his unique blend of fundamental and technical analysis, Ken will protect your hard-earned capital while realizing breakout gains. Go to TFNN.com today. Click Investments Newsletters and get Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks free for 2 weeks.
Studies show that 10,000 hours is what it takes to achieve outstanding results, unless you use the power of leverage. The power of leverage, folks, is key to attaining outstanding success in your trading and investing. I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of The Money Masters with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN.com, and author of Mastering Probability, a daily trading and investment newsletter. Let me take your trading to a new level, a whole new level. Let me teach you the secrets that the real money masters use each and every day to produce consistent financial results. On top of that, I'll transform your life in ways you never thought imaginable. You'll overcome hurdles like an Olympian. Here's the beauty. I'm so certain that I'll transform your life. I'm giving you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Time, folks, something you'll never get back. The time is now to take action. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com and order Mastering Probability. It'll change your life forever. At Tiger Metal Exchange, we pay you more for converting your jewelry to cash.
Let's go to Brian in New Jersey. Hey, Brian, what's going on?
Hey, Tom, just want to let you know I did give you some jewelry. My jeweler offered me about $650, but you get a check in the mail tomorrow for about $1,200.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, it's all about honesty when converting your jewelry to cash.
Okay, let's go to Paul in Florida first. Hey, Paul, what's going on?
I want to commend you on the Tiger Metal Exchange. I just did a deal with you guys the other day.
Oh, good.
And very happy.
Well, I appreciate it. Now, Did you sell us jewelry or did you buy coins off us?
I sold you jewelry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What we weighted at was less than you guys said, so, you know, you're totally honest.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, we give you the tools to value your gold, and it's absolutely free. Call 866-618-8888 or log on to TigerMetalExchange.com. We've created the easiest, safest, and most honest cash for gold process. Tiger Metal Exchange. It's the only call you need to make.
TFNN introduces Tiger TV. Tiger TV brings you video content to help you succeed in the financial markets and beyond. Investors and traders can get in-depth information, news, commentary, and education for investing and trading equities, options, commodities, forex, futures, and more. Just go to TFNN.com and click Tiger TV and select your favorite channel from the carousel on the left. Grab a popcorn and get ready for Tiger TV, a great new service from TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by South American Silver Corporation. For more information, just click the South American Silver Corporation banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
Welcome back, folks. 877-927-6648. Thanks so much for joining us. Now, before we went to break, we were taking a look at the NDX 100. I'm going to go ahead and actually pull up the daily chart on the Qs. Now, here's what I want you to kind of wrap your head around, and that is this. When you're going long, what you really want to look for is you want to look for strength in the marketplace. You want to look for a pattern that's set up here where you've got some nice strength in the marketplace, and that's where you want to take your long positions. When you decide to go short, what you're looking for is you're looking for the weak players that are out there. Now, also when you're going long, you want to be able to take a look at the weak players to see, you know, are the weak players also giving you some type of sign that maybe they're at a turn time, they're at a turnaround date. Is there some type of pattern? Are they completing an AB equals CD pattern? Is there some type of expansion between swing points? Because when you have that type of synergy coming together, you know, then it becomes maybe a little bit easier to pull the trigger. But when you're going long, you want to look for strength, okay? Because there should be more strength behind the move. In our case here, the NDX 100, the Qs, the technology sector, if you will, as far as the weighting, you know, that's really where it's all about. That's what we're here about today. It's what Tom has invested so much of his time and money in order to be able to bring you all that we do. You know, you can watch these shows on your phones or listen to these shows on your phones, on your television if you've got Google TV. And so when we take a look at the Qs here, one of the dates that's very important still for us to be paying attention to is March 16th. And the low on the Qs for March 16th, because that was a high volume day that we had out there, the low that we had out there was 53.77. Right now we're trading at 53.92. You know, I expect we may go tag that line this morning, just touch it, and then maybe continue to move up. You can see that we've traded above it. You know, and that's really, and what you can also see is you can see this trend line that I have where it's showing that we continue to make higher lows. One of the signs of whether you're in a bull market leg, if you will, and again, this is nothing more in my opinion than a retracement. We're setting up a larger Gartley pattern here. But one of the things when you're taking a look at, you know, is price real, if you will? If you're looking for a bull market, you're simply making higher lows and higher highs. In this case here, when we take a look at the Qs, you can see that there is this channel, if you will. And you can see how what was actually very cool about yesterday was the Qs actually opened up along that channel line, if you will, which happened to also be, if you take a look at from the low to the high of the previous swing points, and that, folks, what I'm talking about there is September 6th, the low there being 51.91, all the way up to the high going to September the 8th. And if you take a look at the 0.786 area, it actually came out to 52.61. What the Qs did yesterday when they opened, they actually opened at 52.57. So you got to like how, you know, you have price, you've got time, you've got these channel lines. You know, there's ways that you can take a look at it, and the market will give you, you know, clues. In this case here, you know, it absolutely did give us clues. You know, the market's under a little bit of pressure right now. You would kind of expect that, the way that the volatility has happened in the market, the way that we're trading. In this case here, if we're taking a look at the patterns here on the Qs, one of the current ABC patterns that you can take a look at that would be out there, and there's several around here. This is very subjective, if you will, would take us to 57.68. If we just simply go again on the Qs, go from the high that we made on July 26th down to the low, and we can choose a low here. Let's just choose the low of August the 9th. The 0.786 area, folks, brings you to 57.71. So here you've got an AB equals CD at 57.68. A retracement at 57.71. It'd be a beautiful thing as we make our way up there. You're trading at 53.90 right now. So that's what's going on in the Qs. Let's go take a look at Let's go take a look at the dollar index. We talk about the dollar index because, you know, our markets are priced in dollars. Gold and silver are priced in dollars. And what you can see that we've done on the gold index, you know, Tom has taught us this really great tool. If you were just taking a look at a chart, if you really didn't know anything, one of the things that you would be looking for is what he termed a move of the move. A move of a move, folks, is where you're just taking a look at swing points. In this case here, on the dollar index, we're looking at the March 11th time frame. The high that the dollar index made out there was 77.68. Now, the dollar index, as you know, moved all the way down into the May time frame. The lows in the 72 and change range. And what you can see is the dollar index moved all the way back up during this last run. It got up to a high of 77.89. So we got just a little bit above the highs from the March 11 time frame. And you can see how we've backed off from there. So what we really need to have happen here, you know, for the correlation to continue, where our markets would move up, what we would expect is we would see the dollar pull back from here. Not because of any other strength that we have that's going on in the marketplace, just simply a weaker dollar. The way that it's worked, a weaker dollar has created higher prices in gold, higher prices in the markets. The correlations don't always exist, but they simply come back into play. They have existed. They've worked more than they've not worked, if you will. So, you know, I don't know whether it's 80% of the time, but look for the dollar to pull back here. It's made a move of a move. If a dollar pulls back, which I expect that it will, what we'll see, folks, is we'll see the dollar move back at least to the 76.23 area. More likely 75.22, maybe even 74.49. And what will help to give some type of indication of the strength of the pullback here will really be by taking a look at the candles. And understanding candle patterns is really important, because even if you didn't understand charts here, and you take a look at my screens, my red candles mean that the market, in this case here, where I've got my cursor, the market and the dollar index opened here, pushed its way down all the way here. When you take a look at candles, you've got a body. That's either the red or green or whatever color it is that you might paint yours with. You can choose whatever color you want. And then you've got the wick, if you will. That's the thin line that goes above and below, and that tells you really the high and the low of the day, but where the equity or index or whatever it is that you're trading, where it opened and where it closed. And when you take a look at these, what you're looking for is you're looking for these long-range bars. Now, when we talk about those candles here, I'm going to pull up the New York Stock Exchange. And on the NYSE, this is a weekly chart. Right here, the week of August the 12th, shows a candle pattern. This is what we call a hammer candle. And a hammer candle, you can see, this is for the week, you can see that we went all the way down to the low of 68.27 up to the high of 7,300. That was a wide-ranging bar, even for the week, if you will. And what you can see now, the week before that, okay, the week before that, look at how wide that bar was. Look at how price came down. And in this following week, you can see price came down, but the bulls came in and they pushed the market up. Now, what we've done over the last couple of days here is we've come down and we're testing that hammer candle. When that low gets taken out, folks, if you are in your 401k accounts and you can't do anything but go to cash, we want you to go to cash. 877-927-6648.
If you're in the market for a jumbo preferred non-conforming loan anywhere from $417,000 all the way up to $3 million, and you have a FICO of at least 720, then EverBank is your answer. As a direct lender with processing, underwriting, and funding all under one roof, EverBank can offer the most competitive rates, greater efficiency, and shorter closing times. Now is the time to act. EverBank offers fixed terms of 10 and 15 years, as well as adjustable terms of 5, 7, and 10 years, including interest-only options on primary residences. For more information, call EverBank today at 877-471-5970 to talk with a member of their concierge team that will walk you through the variety of loans they offer. That's 877-471-5970, and let them know you heard this offer on TFNN. EverBank, 877-471-5970, 877-471-5970. Would you like to discover the next great tech stock? David White, TFNN's technology guru, has just launched his new newsletter, The Technology Insider. In his newsletter, David will be looking for those shining stars that may turn into the next Apple, Microsoft, or Cisco. David combines his technology background as a software programmer with his market skills as a successful professional trader to give you this unique newsletter. We're on the verge of the next great tech run. With the Technology Insider, you'll be in front of the run-up and not lagging behind. David is developing a long-term investment portfolio, therefore we're only offering the Technology Insider as an annual subscription with a remarkable price of only $395. That's right, for a little over $1 a day, you'll receive the fundamental technology wisdom and technical trading skills of the Technology Insider David White. What are you waiting for? Go to the front of TFNN.com, click on the link on the front page, sign up for your 2-week free trial, and become a Technology Insider today.
Put the power of the Chapman Wave methodology to work for you. No matter what market you trade, what time frame you trade in, or your trading style, the Opening Call, Basil Chapman's daily market newsletter, is bursting with the information and trades you need to become a more successful trader.
I've been using Basil Chapman's Chapman Wave methodology for several years now. His Chapman Wave can be used for any time period for not only equities, but futures, currencies, commodities. I've been also a subscriber of his Opening Call, which I find an invaluable tool to help me analyze the potential of the market each day. He gives you opportunities to go short and long. It includes recommendations on stocks. I strongly recommend people using the Chapman Wave, and I very, very strongly support the use of his Opening Call.
To find out more about Basil Chapman and his Chapman Wave methodology, and to get your 2-week free trial of the Opening Call, a $64 value, visit TFNN.com today.
Great Basin Gold is a mining company engaged in the exploration and development of 2 emerging gold properties in Nevada and South Africa with a total resource base of more than 23 million gold ounces. Great Basin's Burnstone mine in South Africa opened in February of this year with a resource of 20 million gold ounces, becoming the first mine to open in the historic Witwatersrand Basin in the last 30 years. The Burnstone mine is projected to have a 25-year mine life and is fully financed, with production anticipated to be over 250,000 ounces per year at a cash cost of only $450 per ounce. The Hollister mine in Nevada became fully integrated in the 4th quarter of 2010 with annual production estimates of 110,000 ounces of gold per year over the 8-year mine life at a cash cost of only $527 per ounce. Great Basin Gold is cash flow positive and trades on the Toronto and New York stock exchanges under the symbol GBG.
Hi folks, this is Tom O'Brien. My new book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, is for sale at Amazon.com for only $18.40.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
It absolutely is, folks, and thanks for sticking around. And stay tuned, folks. We've got a great lineup for you today. Following this show, you've got Tom O'Brien and me for the Money Masters. Then I'm back again for the last hour. And then you got Don Kaufman for the Options Hour. Then we've got Ken Shreve from 3 to 4. And Tom will take us home from 4 to 6. And, folks, you got to love technology. Now, I happen to use the iPhone, but just simply technology during break here. And I wanted to thank each and every one of you for using Tiger Metal Exchange. We've had we continue to grow each and every month. Last month was just an absolute record month. This month we're off to another record month. And, what's great about technology, just got an email from someone said he came across a large amount of old foreign coins, mostly silver, that his father had accumulated over years of traveling with the Navy. can I send these in as well? I've just used your service recently for gold, and it was great. And absolutely, folks, you know, if you are sitting on, and he can send those coins in, we buy gold, silver, jewelry, coins, doesn't matter. As long as it's pure silver, meaning at least sterling, so 92.5% or 90% as far as what they call junk silver, 64 and earlier coins, or foreign coins that are at least 80%, if you will. Many foreign coins are 80% silver, and we buy all that stuff, and what we want to do is we want to help you be able to take something that's sitting in a drawer and put it to use, whether it's something that you need to buy, maybe it's a service because you want to help your money grow. And when we started off the show, we started talking about the importance of money management, and simply, you know, I will spend the mornings talking about that, even on my other show, because what I really understand in what when I really started to think about it, it's really what holds you back from accomplishing who it is that you want to be, from creating the character it is that you want to be. It's typically fear. And I understand that fear because we're not taught about how to manage our money. We're not talking about how to attain financial freedom. And we want you to do that. That's what we're doing here at TFNN, and I want you to understand that. And so what I've got up on my screen, and why you need to watch Tiger TV, is because you'll be able to see the information that we present to you so that you can evaluate it. And if something doesn't make sense, you send me an email at steve@tfnn.com. I get back to everyone at least within 24 hours. And what I've got up on my screen is I've got a screen that shows a distribution of wins and losses between trades. In this case here, this shows that you would, if you were a trader that lost 2/3 of the time, 67% of the time, and you understood just using your 1%. So if you had $50,000 in capital, all you risked was 1% on each trade, $500. What this shows you, folks, is that if on the winning trades, so if you did 50 trades a year, you would have 15 winning trades. On those 15 trades, you risked $500, and you made, your profit was $1,500. So you had a 3-for-1. That's not unusual. That's not even close to impossible to do these days, especially when you understand how to play the double and the triple ETFs that are out there. And folks, that would give you a 16% return. That's only having 15 of 50. That's 35 losing trades, 15 winning trades. We've got some traders. Somebody sent me a text, an email, said, I'm way better than that. You know, I don't lose a third of the time. You know, maybe I lose 40% of the time. Well, take a look at that trader's results. He loses 40% of the time, and he has a 3-to-1 reward to risk. That trader on $50,000 in capital with that type of trading system would be making 70% on their money. This is just math, folks. Even if he only made 2 times his risk. So he risked $500, okay, and I know this person, he trades with more than $50,000 in his trading account, but in this case here, if on his winning trades, he only had he risked $500, but made $1,000, and he was able to do that 60% of the time, at 40% win-loss, he would still be making 40% on their money. I want you to understand the money game. I want to help you to overcome your fears. We can do it because you can test drive our newsletters. You can either test drive them for free. You can do mine for 30 days, money-back guarantee, folks. And what I know, folks, is this. You've got an amazing power within yourself. That power, folks, will bring about miraculous outcomes. It will produce a life of abundance. But most importantly, folks, it will create a magnificent money master. Good morning, traders. Hi, folks. This is your host, Steve Rhodes, coming to you live from the TFNN Television and Radio Network. Yes, television network, folks. It's the coolest thing. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com, and on the third button on the left, you'll be able to see the link for Tiger TV. You can watch this show live. If you're catching the show on archive, just simply go to Channel 14. We're going to put together a great hour show for you. Absolutely, we're going to teach you something because, you know, folks, this is my favorite time of the day. Now, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I get to kick off my day at 9 a.m., run 9 to 12. You know, I figure if Tom can do 3 hours, I can do 3 hours. And it's a great time. It's a great time to actually be able to teach you something. You know, there's basically 6 human needs that each of us have. Each of us have these same human needs. There's the need for certainty, the need for uncertainty or variety, if you will. There's the need for significance. There's the need for love and connection. And then the last 2 needs, the need for growth and the need for contribution. And one of the things, you know, when you take a look at the different levels that you can live at in life, you know, for me, what it's all about growth and it's all about contribution. And when I do shows like this, you know, when I think about what is my ultimate day, because we talk about painting, you know, when you wake up in the morning, painting your ultimate vision. And what does your ultimate day look like? Well, if I could go back, you know, years ago and could say, what would my ultimate day be like? It absolutely was in some way, shape, or form being able to help others. One of my ultimate visions was actually being able to put music back into the public schools because, I'm not a musician, although I'm a musician when it comes to playing these markets, if you will. But other than taking some guitar lessons from a great guitar teacher who was an Elvis Presley, went to every Elvis Presley concert, if you will. But, the reason why I got so into music was because when I watched my children play music, unbelievable music, I know each of them were excellent musicians, went on to state bands, and when I would watch them music, it wouldn't just bring tears to my heart, it would bring tears to my eyes. And what I saw music actually do for them, their ability to be able to be better visionaries, if you will, to be able to read ahead the patterns that were coming ahead, was so absolutely amazing that when I saw that it did for them in their self-confidence, and then I saw what was going on inside the public schools, my ultimate vision will be when I'm able to somehow be able to work with a group of others and actually put music back into school, because it is so important for kids. But my other vision is actually just simply growth and contribution. So whether it is providing growth and contribution to a segment like that or providing growth and contribution to you, that's really what it's all about. I don't live my life with regard to significance, and I certainly, the love and connection, I absolutely love doing this. So, when you take a look at, if you take a look at those 6 areas, growth is probably, contribution is probably number 1 for the reason why I do this. Growth is number 2, and then love and connection. Now, maybe you say it's kind of hard to feel love and connection when I'm on this side of the camera, you're on that side of the camera, but I continue to get emails from folks. One here that I got just while we were on doing one of the shows here, and this is from actually from a subscriber. I'm not going to read the information about the trades other than I'm doing well following your newsletter, and it's definitely paying for itself, so I'll read that piece of it. But he said here, also, your September 7th, 7 a.m. show, so obviously he's coming from somewhere on the West Coast, says was terrific. You talked about waking up and visualizing your day, and they said that energized me for a job interview. He said, I thought back to all my other successful job interviews, and it gave me a great mindset, and it quieted his self-doubt. And he said the 3-hour interview went well, and he hopes to hear back a positive news this week. And he said, I've kept that 9/7, that September 7th podcast, and I'll listen to it for inspiration. So, folks, I don't know what I said on September 7th, but I certainly do want to be able to inspire you, because you do have an amazing power within yourself. I know what is in, not just myself, but everyone else that I ever meet. They know there is this amazing power that you have, and all you've got to do is you've got to be able to overcome the fear. Well, the easiest way to overcome your fears is just kind of to play through it. And, we talked about last week we talked about visualization. That obviously not September 7th, that was last week. This week, I really want you to focus on character, because when you visualize, folks, what I want you to do is I want you to visualize the character that you want to be. Paint yourself into that picture, okay? And because, character, folks, it's the result of hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of choices that you make, gradually. And those things turn you in to who you are. And that can happen at any given moment, and it helps you to turn you into who it is that you want to be. So when you are creating your vision for what your day looks like, what I want you to do is I want you to add yourself, and I want you to figure out what is the character that you need in order to be that person. What's the type of courage that you need? What's the type of action that you have to take? And because if that decision-making process isn't present, folks, here's what happens. You'll still be somebody. You'll absolutely still be somebody. But, folks, and you'll still be alive, but you won't have character. That's what I call personality. When you don't take control, it's just simply a personality. What I want you to have is I want you to have character. And I just simply go back to an easy time, I think, a tough time, but an easy time to understand maybe the character and the way that you felt, which was September 12th, 2001. Because in September 13th and September 14th, as the airline started coming back to being, and yes, there were some fears there, but fear, that false evidence appearing real. Were you concerned about flying? Well, how's flying been other than maybe a nuisance? It's not like the old days. I used to be able to get to an airport maybe about 20 minutes before the flight would take off, park the car, grab my bag, walk down, be able to walk down to the gate, put my bag up, because of those days I flew all around the world, always was flying first class, just simply not because I had to pay for it, because of all of the freebies, in essence, or all the upgrades that you automatically got. You know, you can't do that today. But when you talk about the fears that maybe were in our mind and how those fears haven't really played out, it absolutely is false evidence appearing real. And so what I want you to do is I want you to take control. I want you to be the character. I want you to have the character, because character is not something that you're born with. You know, we're all born the same. You know, character is something that you create, and I want you to create that. So in addition to your vision, I want you to create that character, because, you know, it's built on how you respond to what happens to you in your life. Because the world, I don't care whether the sun is setting over the Gulf and it's coming up over the ocean. You know, what's going to happen is the universe is going to throw curveballs at you. The universe is going to be testing you. The universe is nothing but feminine energy, and feminine energy is always testing you. I say these markets are always testing us, and when you understand those energy sources, you know, you can help you to be able to overcome your fears and be able to say, I'm going to stand up, I'm going to be a gladiator, whatever it is, and I'm going to go ahead and attack. And I want you to attack life. Now, when we talk about attacking the markets here, folks, right now as we're talking, we've got the Dow is down 7 or 8. The S&Ps are up 2. The composite's up 13. And let's go around and take a look at the DAX. Now, the DAX is trading at it's up 108. It's 11:15, so it's got 15 more minutes of trading. Actually, if I go take a look, so it's off of its highs, but it still is up. And, you know, you're talking about the weak link that's out there when we take a look at the world indexes. Now, the DAX has had quite a trading range today. It's traded as low as 49.69 and as high as 52.20. Right now trading at 51.76. It's over. It's back into its 3-drive pattern range, if you will. That doesn't really mean a whole lot other than it's simply back up over that 51.50 low that it had on September the 6th. Now, you know, what I believe that we have going on here is a bounce. We'll take a look and we'll see if we've got any conviction, any volume behind it, or whether it's just simply a light bounce. I'm not taking a look at the volume on the DAX. If we take a look at our markets, so I'll go back to our markets, go back to the indexes that we have out here. Now, I believe the first index that pops up here is the NDX 100. And again, if we can get some, if we can get a little bit of juice here, there's an ABC pattern that's in play. The ABC pattern would take us up to 23.45. It would be a great area to start look at going short, because that would take you up into a 0.786 retracement. It would set up a beautiful Gartley pattern. And what we want to do here, folks, is we really want to teach you. We want to teach you about not just non-random patterns that are out here in the marketplace. So we want to teach you about the money management strategies that go behind it. In the 9 to 10 o'clock show, what I talked about was I talked about the money management piece of it, how the importance of understanding how to risk 1%. And I'll go ahead and just pop that up on my screen. But what I really want you to do is I did a 30-minute webinar. I did it, and you can go see that webinar on Channel 5 on TigerTV. And what I want you to, and it's probably the best 30 minutes that you could spend, because it helps you understand the power of 1%. But if you're watching it right now, what I'm showing you here is when I talk about risking 5%, risk, folks, is predefined before you enter any trade. And I say use 1% or less of your total trading capital. In this case here, on a $50,000 trade, or $50,000 in capital, I apologize, $50,000 in capital, all you would risk would be 1% or $500. Now, that risk is then redefined as how much per share are you willing to risk. If you're willing to risk $3 a share or $5 a share or $2 a share, what that's going to do is that's going to help you identify your position size. So in this case here, if you're going to risk on $500, if your stop, okay, was $1, that would tell you could buy 500 shares of whatever it is that we were trading here. If it was $2, then you would buy 250 shares. And position sizing, understanding this part of risk management, will have more to do with your performance and your ability to amass a fortune than anything else that you can do. This is more important than understanding exactly what your entry point is, which is what most people are looking for, an entry point. And not that an entry point's not important, but understanding your position size, which then forces you to understand your stop. So you know what your risk is, but then it forces you to understand what is that stop. And when I take a look at stops, what we take a look at, and what I suggest that you take a look at, one thing that you look at is you take a look at a true range. Because every day in the market, and today is no exception. If we go take a look at what's out there, you can see a wide range. But you can go back and you can take a look at the last 10 days for anything it is that you trade from top to bottom. And you want to take the high to the low, and you want to account for gaps. If there's gaps in there, you need to fill them in on the succeeding trading day, if you will. And folks, what you can do with that average trading range, folks, is you can figure out what the daily noise is. Your stop, for the most part, should be out of that daily noise, because you don't know, I don't know exactly where the market is going to stop on that day. And if you've done all your preparation, all your work, what you don't want is you don't want the daily noise of the market to take you out. So look, folks, it's great for you to be here. Thanks so much for joining me. When we come back, we're going to go take a look at some candle patterns in Harmony Gold. And folks, we'll be back 877-927-6648. Give me a call.
Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
If you're in the market for a jumbo preferred non-conforming loan anywhere from $417,000 all the way up to $3 million, and you have a FICO of at least 720, then EverBank is your answer. As a direct lender with processing, underwriting, and funding all under one roof, EverBank can offer the most competitive rates, greater efficiency, and shorter closing times. Now is the time to act. EverBank offers fixed terms of 10 and 15 years, as well as adjustable terms of 5, 7, and 10 years, including interest-only options on primary residences. For more information, call EverBank today at 877-471-5970 to talk with a member of their concierge team that will walk you through the variety of loans they offer. That's 877-471-5970, and let them know you heard this offer on TFNN. EverBank, 877-471-5970, 877-471-5970.
TFNN is proud to bring you the cutting edge of newsletters. Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Ken is a top-down investor who lets price and volume in the major stock indices tell him when to be in the market and when to be out. By using his unique blend of fundamental and technical analysis, Ken will protect your hard-earned capital while realizing breakout gains. Go to TFNN.com today. Click Investments and Newsletters and get Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks free for 2 weeks.
Great Basin Gold is a mining company engaged in the exploration and development of 2 emerging gold properties in Nevada and South Africa with a total resource base of more than 23 million gold ounces. Great Basin's Burnstone mine in South Africa opened in February of this year with a resource of 20 million gold ounces, becoming the first mine to open in the historic Witwatersrand Basin in the last 30 years. The Burnstone mine is projected to have a 25-year mine life and is fully financed, with production anticipated to be over 250,000 ounces per year at a cash cost of only $450 per ounce. The Hollister mine in Nevada became fully integrated in the 4th quarter of 2010 with annual production estimates of 110,000 ounces of gold per year over the 8-year mine life at a cash cost of only $527 per ounce. Great Basin Gold is cash flow positive and trades on the Toronto and New York stock exchanges under the symbol GBG. X-Story Gold Mines, an NYSE Amex-listed company trading under the symbol XG, is slated to be the newest gold-silver producer in Argentina. X-Story is forecast to produce more than $250 million in bullion annually, beginning in 2013, at a cash cost of less than $200 for each ounce of gold produced. That forecast will make X-Story one of the highest margin operators in South America and a sector leader in the mining industry. X-Story has $50 million in its treasury, having spent over $60 million to date on drilling and engineering. The ultimate size of its Argentina discovery could be determined by year-end, as results from the 6 drills operating at the site are fully assessed. To find out more about X-Story Gold Mines and their exciting growth potential, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE Amex under the symbol XG.
TFNN introduces Tiger TV. Tiger TV brings you video content to help you succeed in the financial markets and beyond. Investors and traders can get in-depth information, news, commentary, and education for investing and trading equities, options, commodities, forex, futures, and more. Just go to TFNN.com and click Tiger TV and select your favorite channel from the carousel on the left. Grab a popcorn and get ready for Tiger TV, a great new service from TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by BackTech Environmental. For more information, just click the BackTech banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
Welcome back, folks. 877-927-6648. Thanks so much for joining us. And, folks, to a certain extent, talk about character and how the results of hundreds and hundreds or thousands of choices that you make gradually turn you into who you are. Well, when you take a look at that, each decision that you make is so important. I'm actually here because a decision that I made that really involved the next guest that I have. We've got Mike Comey, who is going to be putting on a candlestick webinar, which is going to be next Wednesday. That's the 21st. I believe it's at 7 or 7:30 at night. And candlestick charting, folks, is really where you want to understand, because the candlesticks really help you understand what is going on, what is really being communicated to you. To me, this is really, it's just so important to understand candles. So I'd like to introduce you to Mike Comey. Mike, are you there?
Yeah, good morning, Steve. Thanks for having me.
He's the guy. I actually heard Tom on the radio. This was years back, and I called and spoke to Mike and asked him if if I could come to Tom's Master Trader course. I didn't understand the technical analysis. I understood fundamental analysis. I could run rings, and Mike told me, hey, it was okay to come. And because of that, that decision led me certainly to why I'm here today. So, Mike, I wanted to say thank you.
Yeah, I remember that call, Steve. That's kind of amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I did a webinar a few months or whatever it was back, an introductory course on candlesticks.
Yes.
And in it, I talked about how when I first started working with Tom 10 years ago, the kind of jump I needed to take to get into technical analysis and really understand what was going on in the market, similar to you going from more of a fundamental and financial basis into the technicals. And candles were really what kind of did it for me and allowed me to understand what that kind of fight between the bulls and the bears and what was going on.
Absolutely.
Because more so than in any of the mathematical-based indicators, it really is kind of candles are painting a picture of what's going on in the market.
Absolutely. And I'm talking to folks always about visualizing now and painting a picture when they start their day. And that's really the cool thing about the candles and the candlesticks and how they do help you to paint a picture with regard to what's going on in the market. So help me understand what it is you're going to do in the webinar with the folks. Is it going to be similar to the last one that you did, or what?
Well, the shift here and why this one is called advanced candlestick charting is in the initial one I went through all the basic formations and what they mean and kind of how to use them.
Yes.
But it was more about touching on what all those components were.
Yes.
But not putting them together synergistically.
Right.
So with this one, the goal is to focus on three main concepts. First is the entry points. That candlesticks generally are one of two things. They're either reversal formations that tell you about a change in the market, or they're continuation patterns that tell you when the trend is going to continue. So
absolutely. And speaking of candle formations, I've got one up that I brought up on my screen, Harmony Gold. I know that you featured that in one of the emails that you sent out to folks, and it's really a great candlestick pattern. Would you tell the viewers what it is they're looking at?
Yeah. Now this one actually couldn't have worked out any better. I was searching for an example to send out to let people know about the webinar and what we were going to teach.
Yes.
And so I wanted to find something on a chart that I could explain the three things that I was going to cover: the reversals, how you use candles to find support and resistance, and how you use it in combination with other indicators to give you even more accurate signals. So
yes.
On this one, there was a morning star formation that developed on Harmony back on August the 19th.
Right.
And a morning star, like its partner, the shooting star, is pretty easy to see on a chart because you got this one candle on its own out on an island.
Yeah, and folks, I've got that. That's what I've got highlighted or circled, if you will, that candle from August 19th.
So it really jumps out at you. And then what you want to see is the technical basis for this is you've got the first candle, which continues an established trend. So we had a downtrend going on.
Yep.
This long candle is the first step in that continues the downtrend. And then the second candle is one of indecision. Now, that's a little bit ambiguous because you need to see what happens within the formation.
Absolutely.
And then the third candle of the pattern is a change of trend.
Right.
And the couple things in the closing of that third bar should be higher than the midpoint of the first candle.
Yeah, and look, this is really a great candle formation for you folks to learn. And Mike, in order to sign up, do they go to Tiger University? Where do they go to sign up for your course for Wednesday?
Yeah, if you go right at the top of TFNN.com, you'll see the Tiger University link in the dark blue band.
Okay.
Just click on that. I think it's the first or second one listed on the front page of Tiger University.
Yeah, and folks, what I like about candlestick charting, because I use it all the time. In fact, I have a scanner that scans all the traded stocks that are out there looking for specific candle formations. So this is something that you absolutely want to get your head wrapped around. And Mike, thanks so much for coming in and joining us. Folks, it's Wednesday, the 21st. Go over to Tiger University, sign up for Mike's candlestick charting. And thanks again, Mike. And I really owe you. Thanks for letting me be here, because if you hadn't told me to come, I might not be here today.
Oh, thank you, Steve. It's my pleasure.
Okay, you bet. Have a great day. Folks, 877-927-6648. We'll be right back.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. If you want to get great trade setups in equity as well as the option market, come over to TFNN.com and test drive my daily newsletter, Market Insights, for 2 weeks absolutely free. Each trade setup comes with a profit projection as well as stop placement. Included in Market Insights is a Twitter alert service. This allows you to take advantage of intraday setups. Volatility is back in the markets. What does that mean to you? To me, it spells short-term opportunity each and every day. The days of trending up on lighter volume are gone. We have come off the highs with volume across the globe. Don't get caught in a complacency trap. Many of the indices have given back 2 months of trading in 1 week. We have a trader's market. You can take advantage of this trader's market by test driving my daily newsletter, Market Insights, free for 2 weeks. Market Insights will give you the edge you're looking for in the markets. Go to TFNN.com, under newsletter, hit the Market Insight tab for your 2-week free test drive right here, right now.
Tom O'Brien's weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, gives traders, investors, and money managers a thorough strategy for trading the gold market. If you're an investor in gold or any of the gold mining equities, this newsletter is an essential tool that can help you become a better trader in the gold market. The Gold Report comes out every Monday with complete coverage of the entire gold market, including the XAU, HUI, the dollar, the bond, the rand, more than 40 different mining equities, as well as some of the most popular precious metal ETFs, including the GDX and the SLV. For as low as $75 per month, you can gain access to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report that will help you take advantage of investment opportunities at the current historic gold price levels. To order your Gold Report today with a free 30-day trial subscription, log on to TFNN.com or call our office directly at 877-518-9190. Great Basin Gold is a mining company engaged in the exploration and development of 2 emerging gold properties in Nevada and South Africa with a total resource base of more than 23 million gold ounces. Great Basin's Burnstone mine in South Africa opened in February of this year with a resource of 20 million gold ounces, becoming the first mine to open in the historic Witwatersrand Basin in the last 30 years. The Burnstone mine is projected to have a 25-year mine life and is fully financed with production anticipated to be over 250,000 ounces per year at a cash cost of only $450 per ounce. The Hollister mine in Nevada became fully integrated in the 4th quarter of 2010 with annual production estimates of 110,000 ounces of gold per year over the 8-year mine life at a cash cost of only $527 per ounce. Great Basin Gold is cash flow positive and trades on the Toronto and New York stock exchanges under the symbol GBG.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Smith Barney. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportion of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney believes a carefully selected portfolio can lower your volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what asset allocation and a Morgan Stanley Smith Barney financial advisor can do for you. Call Angelo O'Brien, financial advisor and certified financial planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC. Member SIPC.
This segment is brought to you by Harmony Gold. For more information, just click the Harmony Gold banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
It absolutely is, folks. Welcome back, 877-927-6648. And please go take a look at Mike's webinar. Go sign up for it, Tiger University. And it's next Wednesday, the 21st. And candlesticks, you know, it's kind of it's the ABCs, if you will, as far as communication. Candlesticks have been around. It's called Japanese candlesticks, if you will. And people have used these for so long to help you understand what's going on in the marketplace. As I said, I use them all the time looking for specific candlestick patterns that we can trade. I like to take a look at hammer candles. I love morning stars, shooting stars, island reversals, which would be the Western candle version of it. And I like to use that in combination with some of the other tools that we have, whether it's ABC patterns or whether it's retracement levels. And when you take a look at this Harmony Gold setup, you know, what was nice is not only did you have the pattern that Mike talked about, the morning star, but you also, when you take a look at just simply the retracement, we talk about the 786, 618, 382 areas. In the 786 retracement, between the two last swing points, and folks, you go to the high of August the 10th, the high there is 1458, all the way down to the 1190 area. You can see that the 786 is 1401. Well, where does Harmony Gold get up to? Gets up to 1411. It makes the high at 1412 on September the 8th before moving back down. And one of the things that we probably didn't get a chance, I know that Mike uses, is he uses the slow, fast-moving stochastic, which also happen to have up. So hopefully, you know, you're watching this on Tiger TV because that also gave him the signal. And there was the deflection that I know that Basil talks about that occurred, you know, on it was on the 24th or the 25th. So anyways, go check that out. Tiger University, great, absolutely great course. And what I'm also going to do, we had a caller yesterday that called about the SSO. And so I know there's a number of listeners that are also, you know, trying to figure out how the best way to play the full moon, new moon strategy, if you will. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to go back to that caller from the SSO. So right now you've got the SSO trading at 40.40 because the question that I asked was, you know, I asked if the caller had identified what their position size was. And before we just did that last segment, you know, I left with stating that position sizing will have more impact on your trading than really anything else that you can do. Well, one part of position sizing is understanding the stop. So I was talking about the daily volatility. Now, this has worked for me. This is what, you know, I take a look at swing points, but swing point or a trend line, you know, or a specific Fibonacci number is something that everybody else uses, if you will. So they're very defined areas. So when I take a look at stops, I don't like to put it right exactly at that area. And so what I use is I use this average true range in concert with any other patterns that I see out there. So on the SSO specifically, I asked if the caller had identified a stop, if they thought, because their whole focus was really on the entry point. Well, entry point is important, but the first element really needs to be, you know how much you're going to risk. So that's like the no-brainer. It's going to be 1% or less of your capital, whatever your trading capital is. So, you know, in this case here, if it was $50,000, just going to continue to go through that, you use that as a scenario. Then what you want to do is you want to go take a look at what's that daily noise, your average true range. Well, in the SSO, this is including yesterday's activity right now, in SSO, the average true range is about $2, $1.98 to be exact. And that's even including gap ups and gap downs. You want to account for that price, even if it's not present inside the candle that you're looking at. Now, What I say is if that's the true range, you want to be somewhere outside of that area because you don't want to be inside that daily true range. So in this case here, when the caller called in, I believe the SSO was trading right around 38.50. So if 38.50 was it, then you would take 38.50 minus $2. Your stop would at least have to be 36.50. Well, what happens is you see you've got this bar here from August the 9th, and the low on that is 36.46. So you'd want your stop to be below that, and I'm saying even more than 1 day's true range below that, to then identify your position size. Anyways, 877-927-6648. We'll be right back.
TFNN is proud to bring you the cutting edge of newsletters. Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Ken is a top-down investor who lets price and volume in the major stock indices tell him when to be in the market and when to be out. By using his unique blend of fundamental and technical analysis, Ken will protect your hard-earned capital while realizing breakout gains. Go to TFNN.com today. Click Investments Newsletters and get Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks free for 2 weeks.
Studies show that 10,000 hours is what it takes to achieve outstanding results, unless you use the power of leverage. The power of leverage, folks, is key to attaining outstanding success in your trading and investing. I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of The Money Masters with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN.com, and author of Mastering Probability, a daily trading and investment newsletter. Let me take your trading to a new level, a whole new level. Let me teach you the secrets that the real money masters use each and every day to produce consistent financial results. On top of that, I'll transform your life in ways you never thought imaginable. You'll overcome hurdles like an Olympian. Here's the beauty. I'm so certain that I'll transform your life. I'm giving you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Time, folks. Something you'll never get back. The time is now to take action. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com and order Mastering Probability. It'll change your life forever. At Tiger Metal Exchange, we pay you more for converting your jewelry to cash.
Let's go to Brian in New Jersey. Hey, Brian, what's going on?
Hey, Tom, just want to let you know I did give you some jewelry. My jeweler offered me about $650, but you get a check in the mail tomorrow for about $1,200.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, it's all about honesty when converting your jewelry to cash.
Okay, let's go to Paul in Florida first. Hey, Paul, what's going on?
I want to commend you on the Tiger Metal Exchange. I just did a deal with you guys the other day.
Oh, good.
And very happy.
Well, I appreciate it. Now, Did you sell us jewelry or did you buy coins off us?
Yeah, I sold you jewelry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What we weighted that was less than you guys said, so, you're totally honest.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, we give you the tools to value your gold, and it's absolutely free. Call 866-618-8888 or log on to TigerMetalExchange.com. We've created the easiest, safest, and most honest cash for gold process. Tiger Metal Exchange. It's the only call you need to make.
TFNN introduces TigerTV. TigerTV brings you video content to help you succeed in the financial markets and beyond. Investors and traders can get in-depth information, news, commentary, and education for investing and trading equities, options, commodities, forex, futures, and more. Just go to TFNN.com and click TigerTV and select your favorite channel from the carousel on the left. Grab a popcorn and get ready for TigerTV, a great new service from TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by South American Silver Corporation. For more information, just click the South American Silver Corporation banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
927-6648. Thanks so much for joining me. Let's go to Ken in Iowa. Ken, thanks for calling in.
Good morning. It's good to talk to you.
Thank you. Good to hear your voice. How was your weekend?
Well, it was beautiful.
Ah, good. Now, what's the weather like in Iowa these days? Is it the end of summer?
Yes, it's the end of summer. Leaves are starting to turn.
Really? Oh, that's cool. That's beautiful. Now you got all the corn is out or is on its way out?
I don't think they've started taking the corn out yet, but it's
okay.
drying up and getting ready.
Okay, great. And now you wanted to take a look at Silver Corp, is that right? SBM?
Right. Right.
Yeah. Now, folks, the high on that 1632, the low is 704. Right now, it's trading at 664. So it's got a new low in there, if you will.
It's low this morning.
Yeah. Now, what are you looking at doing here? What's your setup on this?
Well, I'm wondering if it's a good place to buy. Now, I guess they've had some fraud accusations.
Ah, is that it? Okay.
And it's a Chinese and Canadian stock. But as far as I can tell, looking at Yahoo,
well, they got income that they're reporting. So there's the question whether or not it's real income or what's the
Well, I guess it's the short seller that's accusing them of fraud.
Okay.
The investigating departments have not been able to find anything so far, according to Yahoo. So I'm just wondering if this is a good opportunity to buy some.
Well, I tell you where it looks like there might be a decent opportunity to buy it, and that's at much lower price, which is really at about $3.87 actually. And I'm just simply taking a look at this is, on a weekly basis, this is a big ABC down. Now, the B point on this, Ken, if you're taking a look at the weekly chart, is from the week of June 17th. The low there was 805. There was 13 million shares. When we came through there, you came through there with 43 million shares the week of September the 2nd. And so, you've got some major volume on the way down there. Right now, if you just simply go back to, in the earliest I think that I have on my chart is from the week of November 21st, 08, where the stock was selling for a low of 92 cents. Now, this thing, folks, went from 92 cents back in November of 2008 all the way up to that high of 1632. That's a pretty good reward to risk on your trade there. But in this case here, there is no real volume, if you will, support below where this thing is trading right now. And so I really think that, let this complete the ABC pattern, which would be down around the $3.87 area. Now, if it does get down there, what that really sets up is a early buy. So you'd like to be able to tie that into, you'd like to be taking a look at candle pattern formation where you've got just small bodies coming into that area, and you'd like to be able to see the volume really slowing down. But that was looking at it, on a weekly chart. And here, the problem that you've got with a stock like this, folks, is if you go back and you take a look at everybody that is in this stock from July of 2010 is in a losing position. So if you bought into this anytime between then and now, so it's over a year, you're in a losing position. So this thing has a lot of it's got a wall of worry to really climb. But so I would wait for it to get down there and maybe look for something better to trade. I wouldn't short this stock, that's for sure. Because you only want to come in, you want to short stocks, folks, that are maybe $75, $50, $75, $100, where you've got much more reward, on the downside, and the upside, anything can happen with buyouts and so forth. So I hope that helps you, Ken. Is that?
Yeah, that helps a lot. Is there any time frame that you think that?
Well, this thing on the weekly chart, the C to D is really shaping up here to complete sometime, it looks like, in the October time frame, believe it or not. So, just got to wait to see what happens with the, with the selling that's out there, see some other type of sign of strength. If you could get a bounce out of here and there was some type of sign of strength, then what you'd want to do is you'd want to wait to see this thing pull back. But, you've got today and you've got, you had 20 million shares on September the 2nd. Today, we're only at 1147. You've got 17 million shares. This thing's got the air is being let out of here, and I don't want you to get in front of this freight train.
Okay.
All right. Rather you maybe take a look at it at at $3. But the problem is, you got a stock that goes from 16 down to 3. That means stock could easily be going out of business too.
Really?
So there must be something else going on. Where there's smoke, there's fire, Ken. And stay out of this fire. All right.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you so much for the advice.
You bet. Thanks for calling, folks. So that was SVM, and the true range on that on a daily basis is continuing to go up for sure. We'll see what how that thing trades today. Now let's go back to let's go see what else is going on around the world. Right now we've had let's go take a look at the ETF structures here. And on the ETFs, let's take a look at the diamonds. That's the only one that's in red right now. It's down 4 points. Everything else, every other index, is showing a little bit of green. So I like to see that. That's that full moon stuff. And we're taking a look at the diamonds here. Now the diamonds also has an ABC up pattern, folks. And the ABC up pattern on the diamonds would take you to 119.46. That's assuming that we can get a little bit of juice into this marketplace. If we can't get any juice in this marketplace, we're going to start hitting some. And what you really want to see, when I say juice, you really want to see the Dow Diamonds, the DIA. You want this thing to get above the 112.38. The 112.38 is going back and taking a look at the candle on August the 9th. And the volume that we had there, that's when we had the last big push down. That was 32 million shares. You'd like to see us get above that because that really should act, as a resistance area. And it's going to take a while to break through that bottom. This is the exact opposite of SVM that Ken called about, where you could see as you were coming into swing points, and right now, August 9th is a swing point for us. In fact, August 9th is the B point of a large A to B equals CD down. And if you want to see what that looks like, folks, if you just take a look at what that is, you're looking at going from 127 down to 105. And if you take a look, if this completes at the 119 area, where that takes the Dow Diamonds down to 98.21. Well, that's going to take you back to the July 2010 time frame inside the diamonds. That absolutely makes sense. It's consistent with everything else that we see going on around the world. This is why, folks, if you've got if you're a passive investor in your 401k accounts, I want you to call your financial advisor. I want you to find out what it takes in order for you to go to cash, because at some point in time you're going to need to do that. Folks, 877-927-6648. We'll be right back.
It's always better when we're together.
Put the power of the Chapman Wave methodology to work for you. No matter what market you trade, what time frame you trade in, or your trading style, the opening call, Basil Chapman's daily market newsletter, is bursting with the information and trades you need to become a more successful trader.
I've been using Basil Chapman's Chapman Wave methodology for several years now. His Chapman Wave can be used for any time period for not only equities, but futures, currencies, commodities. I've been also a subscriber of his opening call, which I find an invaluable tool to help me analyze the potential of the market each day. He gives you opportunities to go short and long. It includes recommendations on stocks. I strongly recommend people using the Chapman Wave, and I very, very strongly support the use of his opening call.
To find out more about Basil Chapman and his Chapman Wave methodology, and to get your 2-week free trial of the opening call, a $64 value, visit tfnn.com today. Looking for some extra cash to help pay off some of your bills? Let Tiger Metal Exchange convert your unwanted jewelry to cash. We pay out 80% of the market price for gold. Our payouts are the highest in the industry, more than double our largest competitors. And we've created the safest, easiest, and most straightforward process for converting your jewelry to cash. Log on to TigerMetalExchange.com and get your free scale, your free eye loop, and get the cash you deserve now. We provide a free online calculator that converts your jewelry to cash at up-to-the-minute spot prices. We insure your items for up to $75,000 per shipment free of charge. We videotape the entire valuation process so that you can view it online. You can call us toll-free at 866-618-8888 or log on to TigerMetalExchange.com. Let Tiger Metal Exchange put more cash in your pocket without ever leaving the comfort of your home. Join the list of thousands of satisfied customers and go to TigerMetalExchange.com. It's the only click you need to make.
Studies show that 10,000 hours is what it takes to achieve outstanding results, unless you use the power of leverage. The power of leverage, folks, is key to attaining outstanding success in your trading and investing. I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of The Money Masters with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN.com, and author of Mastering Probability, a daily trading and investment newsletter. Let me take your trading to a new level, a whole new level. Let me teach you the secrets that the real money masters use each and every day to produce consistent financial results. On top of that, I'll transform your life in ways you never thought imaginable. You'll overcome hurdles like an Olympian. Here's the beauty. I'm so certain that I'll transform your life. I'm giving you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Time, folks, something you'll never get back. The time is now to take action. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com and order Mastering Probability. It'll change your life forever.
Would you like to discover the next great tech stock? David White, TFNN's technology guru, has just launched his new newsletter, The Technology Insider. In his newsletter, David will be looking for those shining stars that may turn into the next Apple, Microsoft, or Cisco. David combines his technology background as a software programmer with his market skills as a successful professional trader to give you this unique newsletter. We're on the verge of the next great tech run. With the Technology Insider, you'll be in front of the run-up and not lagging behind. David is developing a long-term investment portfolio, therefore we're only offering the Technology Insider as an annual subscription with a remarkable price of only $395. That's right, for a little over $1 a day, you'll receive the fundamental technology wisdom and technical trading skills of the Technology Insider David White. What are you waiting for? Go to the front of TFNN.com, click on the link on the front page, sign up for your 2-week free trial, and become a Technology Insider today.
This segment is brought to you by Great Panther Silver. For more information, just click the Great Panther Silver banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
Welcome back, folks. 877-927-6648. Thanks so much for being with me. Time absolutely flies. Going into our last segment, and I'd like you to stick around because in the on-deck circle, we got Don Kaufman, absolutely the best option show that you could ever want. And you can call in, and you got Don for a full live hour, no commercial interruptions or anything, folks. And, you know, we talk about, or I talk about character, you know, and the importance of it. You know, and folks, you know, your history has already been written, but the future, it's really up to you. In that future, you know, what I want you to envision is I want you to envision, you know, the character. Who is it? What is it that you need to do? Because, you know, most of the times, all you really have to do is look inside your heart and your gut, you know, to create that sculpture that you know, that's really previously existed only in your imagination. What I want you to do is I want you to bring that sculpture outside, because that's a beautiful you know, and here's what I know. If you're sincerely committed to making yourself into the person that you want to be, if you're willing to overcome those fears, you're willing to walk through that fire, okay, you know, you'll not only create the qualities that you want from a character standpoint, but you'll continually strengthen those things. So, you know, your future, folks, it's really up to you. And the past doesn't equal your future unless you want it to. So I know the difficulty and the fear associated with money and managing your money. And instead, what we want to do is we want to turn that fear into an empowering element. And when you can learn that the power of only risking 1%, that you don't have to be right on every trade. We are not right on every trade. Absolutely, we are not right on every trade. But every trade that we do take, what we do know is that we've done our homework on them, we've put the best probability in place, and we put the proper risk management in place, so it becomes easy to walk away from the trade so you don't have to look at the screen. And that's really part of the money management game, and it's something that Don can teach you because he has defined risk in the way that he trades options. And, you know, defined risk is really what it's all about. And when you can define your risk and you can understand really the power of momentum, the power of continuing to just simply build on your successes, when you can create that character, it's really what it's all about. So, you know, what I've got up on the screen right now is I've got the cues. And one of the things that I take a look at during the trading day is I'm always paying attention to the opening range. And the opening range, folks, is what I call the first 30 minutes of trading, because overnight, once the market is closed and after the after hours, what happens is you've got a whole bunch of energy that's built up in it. So it's always important, and that energy is typically going to be first released during that first 30 minutes of trading. It's going to give you some type of indication as what's going on. In the opening range, I just simply use the low candle, if you will, of the 30-minute session. And in that case here, the low candle happened at 9.50. The low on the Qs, and that's what I'm looking at, is 53.80. I then look at the high of the session. Well, the high happened right at the 10 o'clock range. That was at 54.26. And I look to see where the market is trading. If you're a day trader, you want to really get your head wrapped around the opening range. what you really want to do is you want to take a look when you have the opening range come back either to a 786 retracement area. Now, you don't pay attention to the other days. You're just looking at trading today's session. When you've got that pulling back, maybe an A, B, C, D pattern coming into a 618 or 786, simply during that period, and that's a Gartley buy pattern or it's a Gartley sell, you want to pull the trigger. If you come back and you test the bottom of the open range, in this case here, that would be the 53.80 area. If you can get the market to pull back there, it's when your back is up against the wall. If you're taking a look, if you're trading a 5-minute or a 10-minute chart, go back, count those last 10 candles, come up with what the true range of that session was, and go ahead and pull the trigger. Why, folks? Because you've got an amazing power within yourself. And, folks, that power is so strong it will produce a life of abundance, build billion-dollar businesses, cure incurable diseases, but mostly, folks, it'll turn you into successful, magnificent money managers. Folks, thanks for being with me. I'll see you tomorrow. Stay tuned for Don Kaufman. Until then, folks, live with gratitude.
Yeah, it's always better.